I've been doing art since I was a kid. You know, my parents wouldn't let me paint on my, paint at the house, so I would just start drawing on the wall. I'm like, I'm doing it. And my dream, I grew up in Tracy, so I always wanted to go to San Francisco Art Academy, which I didn't make it there, but I studied at Fresno State.
Okay.
And I just always knew I wanted to do art.
Yeah.
There was never anything else for me. I would, try to appease people growing up and, think I could possibly do something else, but nothing ever felt right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess I just stopped trying to do something that didn't feel right. It was March 21st, last year.
Oh, so recently you finally gave into it.
I finally gave into it. I had actually taken about 3 years off. I had graduated college and got a studio at Broadway and was going, had that going, and you don't know the business side when you come into it. It's not something they really teach you in college, and so you're trying to figure it out, and it's all trial and error. And so it can be a little frustrating and discouraging. And so I kind of took about 3 years off. I felt really uninspired and really lost, trying to figure out if there's something else I should be doing. Maybe the world's trying to tell me to look again or something. And it wasn't in the cards. Nothing else was in the cards. It was wonderful. I got spoiled by having great art in my house, changing every month. And it can be a little unnerving, but I've been doing art hop for so long that it just kind of felt natural. And I put a lot of work into it. I had to paint this whole room, floor to ceiling, the hallway and the bathroom, in about a week before I finally decided I was going to do it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get it ready now. And I got it done, and it looks nice.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I kind of like them both. I don't know. I like making my art, but sometimes you get so much pressure of trying to balance it out that you don't want it to ruin the art. So I just try to pace myself. It's nice having other artists in the space because you kind of have a chance to not worry so much about the area, and you can cater to another artist a little bit more if you had a rough month or things like that. And so I don't know. I've been the reason I'm stopping doing it at the house is because we're going to start doing it at Mita Kappa, and I'm not going to be able to do both. It's just going to be impossible. So hopefully that'll give me an opportunity to do a little bit more art and not feel so pressured. Still very much in the discussion stage. We want to start with Art Hop in June, and so they were trying to reach out to artists that they wanted, like their friends and stuff. They're starting out small, and then we're going to open it up more. I just want to be very clear on how we want to run the space before we jump into it, so it doesn't end up being flippy-floppy business-wise for anybody. Having a clear, concise idea makes it a lot easier on everybody. But we talked about doing art classes in there. We talked about doing flea markets during the summer in the far back room because it's so big and it's so hot in Fresno. But there's so many artists that live on flea markets, and it's such a fun thing. So we'd like to get that going on down there. And live music. They already do open mic night right now. But I don't know, we're trying to be as open to the whole idea of everything. So we're starting with Art Hop though.
Okay, one thing at a time.
I live and feed off of positive energy. So if, we can work together and help each other in the areas that we're not as great at, we have a better chance of all of us being successful. And I just feel like it's so important to be supportive in that way. we can all do better. We can all be better.
Yeah.
We just have to help each other out and not be so cutthroat, like tear each other down to get above anyone else. The art community can be very hit and miss on that.
Mhm.
You know, artists they have two things that people always hear about artists. They're flaky and egotistical. And I'm not really either of those things. So it's one of those things that not everyone is, and I feel like if those of us that aren't could just get together, we can be a lot more successful, and there can be a lot more great art going through Fresno and wherever any artist is.